Today we are interviewing Board Member Sean Whitt. Mr. Whitt, what motivated you to want to be on the Russell Board?
I believe in community involvement, and I've been very fortunate over the years to be involved in a couple different organizations. So, for example, I was an original incorporator of the Russell Endowment Education Foundation, and then I've also worked with some boards like Hope's Place. There came a point in time, though, where my children go to Russell that I decided this would be a great board for me to be on and to be part of. And it probably didn't hurt matters that I'm a teacher's son and that I've worked with a lot of school districts in the past with my work. So I'm really happy that I was elected to the board and get to be part of this team.
What do you think is your role as a board member? Well,
let me start out by saying by law, by statute, we have three primary functions with the Board of Education. And the first one, all three of which are very important. The first one is that we hire the superintendent of the district. The second one is that we set policy for the district. We do not establish procedures or guidelines, but we set policy. And then the third one, which is extremely important, is we are responsible for the finances of the district. And so I often tell people who ask me about being on the board, it's really like running a business, and that's what we do.
What do you think are the board's expectations for the superintendent?
Expectations for Mr. Horn. The first one is he is the face of our district, and we certainly expect that he presents himself with dignity and class, and there's no question that he does that. The thing, though, that I expect out of our superintendent is that every decision he makes in his leadership position be done by putting the kids first and doing what is best for the students of Russell. And those decisions sometimes are easy for him to make, but I also expect him to make those decisions when they are difficult. And there's certainly been times that I know he's had very difficult decisions to make.
What do you see as the board's roles and responsibilities towards the district?
Our roles and responsibilities are to, again, establish policy, to make sure that we are fiscally responsible with our money and the allocation of funds, to make sure that we provide every opportunity for our students to excel, both in the classroom as well as extracurricular activities, and to not only excel, but we strongly believe that we can be the best. We can be the best in the classroom, and we can be the best in our extracurricular activities.
With only 1 or 2 meetings a month, all school boards are limited in what they can do. So how does the Russell Board decide what's most important?
Well, that's challenging. As board members, as you said, we meet once a month. Sometimes we have special called meetings. If we wanted to, we could be involved, and in some respects we are, day to day with the district. But we rely heavily on the central office staff, Mr. Horn, the principals, for example, at all of the schools, to help us identify the issues that need to be addressed and a priority for those issues. And with their assistance, I think we're able to do that on a regular basis, and hopefully we don't have any issues that slip, between the cracks.
How can the board be more accessible to faculty and staff?
It's kind of interesting because of my profession. I practice law for a living, and I have been very fortunate that I've done some professional development at the high school, wherein I get to do presentations to the faculty. I've also been invited on several occasions to the different schools and classrooms by teachers. And I always tell all the faculty and the staff, please call me. I'm easy to find. I'm in the phone book. You can call me at my office. You can text and email. And so I hope that everyone in the district knows that they can reach out to me, and I think they do. It's often that I get phone calls or emails from folks about that. And I should also say, even though your question wasn't about faculty or wasn't about the community, I think people in the community, we want them to know we were elected by the community, and I think it's very important that the community can reach out to us as well.
In your opinion, what are the current challenges that face school boards today?
That's an easy one. Finances. It's probably the global answer you would get from 200 different school board members. Our finances are controlled on a federal level. We receive federal monies, state monies, and then also local through taxes. And our money, it can vary from year to year, and sometimes we have cuts in the funding that we receive. And that is a real challenge to lose money. If you think about it, when you have a job and you work, no one wants to make less money the next year, if for any reason, because the price of the cost of living goes up. And it's the same with school districts. We need more money every year to not only keep the status quo, but to provide even more opportunities for our students. So financing is challenging, but we're also very fortunate in Russell that we have a community that really rallies around the school district to help us with financing. And so we have lots of booster organizations for our extracurricular activities. We also have organizations such as REEF, the Endowment Foundation, that raises a lot of money every year that they put right back into the school district for our kids.
How do you stay current on the important matters that face school boards?
Well, each of us as board members receive newsletters and magazines because we're registered board members with the state. Our superintendent and the central office staff does a really good job keeping us up to speed with issues that we need to be aware of. And then finally, as board members, we participate in anywhere from 10 to 15 hours of classroom training is the best way to explain it, every year. And we go to state school board meetings and conferences. And a lot of times at those meetings, the topics that are addressed are very current, very relevant topics that are facing our school districts here in Kentucky today.
What do you hope to see for Russell's board and Russell's school system in the future?
Excellence. That's what we want. We strive for excellence, and we don't just say that, we mean it. We are edging closer and closer to being the number one academic school district in the state. That is my goal. I want us to be number one in all of the extracurricular activities that we participate. I am so proud to learn just yesterday that our high school and middle school science Olympiad teams are now the state champions of Kentucky. Both of them, the high school and the middle school. That's fantastic. We've been very successful in athletics. We've been very successful to be such a small district with our academic teams, with the number of Governor's Cups that we've won. We want to be the best. And I hope that our current Board of Education is helping to steer Russell in the right direction. And hopefully years from now, future boards will look back and see that the vision we had came to fruition in the district.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Whitt. We appreciate everything you do on the board, and we thank you for taking time to speak to us today.
Thank you much.